When there's something hanging off of your clothes or hanging in your house, your pets may be distracted by that because they think it's an animal. I would like to say they think maybe it's like a snake or just a little wriggling creature. Now, you can also be distracted by these things and think, oh shit, what's that? And then you realize, oh, that's an inanimate object just moving in a way that my mind sees. So certain animals move just like that. So you just got confused for a second. But your pets, oftentimes they can't differentiate and they're entranced by those objects. Now, how does this apply to Apex Legends? I could sit here all day and tell you about the bad players that I've met and tell you how bad of a player you are. But I realize now that I've done that so many times on this channel that really I ought to start telling folks how they could get better. Honestly, that seems like an insurmountable task because you can bring the horse to the water, you can't force it to drink. I'm going to tilt your head back, pull down your chin so that your mouth opens, and I'm going to pour a gallon of water down your throat. So I was talking to someone, and I consider him to be on my level, whether that means he's better than me or a little bit not as good as me, whatever it means. I consider him to be a viable player. Now, what does it mean to be viable? Being viable means that you can hold your own, at least in this context. Now, most players are not viable. The player base is actually cut into two halves. Those who have a KD below a 1 and those who have a KD above a 1. At least that's the consensus, that the average KDR is. Honestly, that means practically nothing except for you can get 1 kill for every death at the bare minimum, which is actually not that bad. And I'm not saying that having a 1 KD means you're the fucking GOAT, but I can respect someone who has a 1 KD because you can tell that they are at least trying, you know what I mean? They are at least trying to be viable. Now, you may be wondering, what does that even mean? But a 1 KD is 1 kill for every death, and so sometimes you're not actually getting 1 kill for every death, so that just means that their stats outweigh their lifetime kills outweighs their lifetime deaths. Now, those of you who have been through kindergarten, first grade, you learn math, and so you can apply any number and you can see that if you want to have 3 times a 3 KD, you have to have 3 kills for every death practically. But sometimes you drop and you die with no kills. So you have to make up for that in future games. Now, some games you get more than 3 kills, and so that also adds to your positive KDR. Now, in truth, none of that has anything to do with actually making you a better player. I was just trying to enlighten some people who don't understand the breakdown of the Apex Legends community. There's more to the Apex Legends community, but for now, I'm going to just offer you folks some knowledge on how to win games. So basically, Apex Legends is a big circle jerk, and thinking that you're having a solid 3v3 like it's arenas is going to make you a bad player. Always keep in mind these 2 major tips. 1, there's a third party coming, and 2, your teammates are not helping. You have to handle it yourself. Don't rely on anybody. If you go in there actually thinking that those folks are going to help you, like, I'm not saying run off and solo queue, but literally do not expect anything from anyone. Just because you know what they should be doing doesn't mean they know what they should be doing. And honestly, I find that in my own gameplay, I always do better when I'm solo queued. And it's crazy because Apex Legends is a team-based game, right? No, when Goku is fighting the strongest antagonist, he tells them stay over here so that he doesn't have to hold back. You understand what I'm getting at, I hope. For tips, actual tips and tricks, honestly, this is going to sound really stupid because if you came actually looking to become a better player, then hearing this, you're going to be like, well, no shit, of course I'm going to fight. It's a first-person shooter. But hear me out. This tip I would give to anyone. You need to fight. Don't be a scared little girl. Listen, so many times I see people just healing up and healing up and healing up like they can't take a fight without healing up. Time to kill is very important. The person I was talking to yesterday had brought that up, and he said that he believes that a primary reason why you are running into garbage players is because the average person cannot think of multiple things to do at once. Apex Legends is a battle royale, and thus you are not only concerned about aiming, you are not only concerned about positioning, you are not only concerned about movement, you are not only concerned about rotations. You are constantly having to keep track of all of these things. And in other shooters, that is not relevant. So all I can tell you boys is you need to fight. Stop running away from fights. Die fighting. I always say I would rather die in Capital City fighting alone with no kills than land out here with you two, loot for 3-5 minutes, and then run into a random squad and die. Peace out. Leave a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching my way GM.